All right, folks, one more time here on the LA Sparks 365 Network, your 24/7, 365 comprehensive home of the WNBA, and your two-time WNBA champion, Los Angeles Sparks. And already, folks, I got to do this again. If you folks were with us, the last show at least, Chris suffered 6 mutes on the show last few minutes here, folks, that he has now racked up his 7th one of the night. And he's inching very close to tying to Diana Taurasi's technical foul count from last year. So I'm hoping that my co-host is not freaking either disguised as DT or something's going on up there involving her and Chris. But Chris, if that's you up there, man, how's it going tonight?
Nothing much. Just hey, here.
Oh goodness, man, you're really, really, really asking for it, man. I mean, this. I might as well just like keep freaking putting you on mute, man. I mean, you're really. I think he's trying to break the record, folks. He's trying to go for 10 at least, which would be one more than Taurasi's count from last year, and would be Ms. Harding as well, his favorite player on the Sparks, in case you folks are wondering. But, folks, as we keep watching my phone over here for notifications from Chris on Instagram and other things included, folks, welcome to the two-man show of record that is called The Guys with the Petitioner, folks. Tonight, recapping my 20th birthday and my first time going to Staples Center as well, yesterday as well. Chris, I know that you unfortunately couldn't make the game because I wasn't allowed to bring anybody with me, which I am still kind of depressed about, but what were you hoping for, man, when I went up to Staples Center last night?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, what was your expectations for me at the game at least?
Oh, like a awesome time, meeting a lot of Sparks players, like meeting Candace Parker, which kind of did, well, you kind of did because you got something happen, and meeting like some Sparks players, members, Sparks fans on Twitter that we know, and yeah.
Thanks, Chris, but again, I'm sorry, man, but this is crazy. Again, man, you're just asking for the mute button, man. I've lost count. Are we at 8 now, or are we at 7? Are we at 8? Yeah, you're just really asking for it, folks. Folks, I even told Chris when I got home last night about 11:30 from the game is last night was like the very first time I can recall in recent memory, at least, that I didn't know what to say when I left the game because I was just overwhelmed, folks, with emotion last night because to know that one half of the Petition guys was at the home opener last night, and the crowd being over 10,000 people last night, and other things included, folks, I mean, from seeing some fans that we know on Twitter, like Jack Nick and Vicky Russo and a few other people, folks, I mean, Chris, quite literally, man, this is what I was given when I got to the game last night from Miss Jacknick yesterday. This entire FedEx envelope full of things from last season, programs, things included, man. I mean, I'm going to, show off some of the stuff I got, folks, because, I mean, other than this and what is behind me here, folks, on my light over here is like the lone few things I've gotten for my birthday this weekend, folks. And then, folks, please bear with me tonight as well, folks. I'm a little bit under the weather tonight as well at this point in time, and just rubbing it in, Chris. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, man. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, man. You're just asking for it, man. And congratulations. You just tied Diana Taurasi with 9 technical fouls, man. So I'm believing that something happened where your last name got changed to Taurasi, it seems like, as this has been going on all night, basically, except for the first show, it seems like. So you're really asking for it. But getting back on track, I mean, Chris, I know that Jack Nick also gave you the same stuff as well, man. But, I mean, geez, I mean, hey, the event level courtside food menu, I mean, little things like this. Of course, the program from last night, and then, well, you really can't do that. There you go, folks. The program from last night. And then, of course, Chris, Jack Nick being the great lady she is, of course, all the programs from last season, if you scheduled them, of course, Chris. No need to send the one that you have, man, because I got it right here that you were going to send to me, but again, some more programs. And folks, I mean, the starstruckness was real last night. Reason being, folks, yes, Irving freaking Magic Johnson signed my ticket last night, shook myself and my dad's hand, and a Hall of Famer, man, signed my ticket for me, and of course got to go after the game to the post-game autographs, and thanks to Elena Beard and Nikki Green for the autographs last night, as well, and also Chris, gotta love it, but my dad stole the third quarter stat sheet from the Staples Center press roll last night, also signed by AB and Nikki last night. Jack Nick also gave out a few ticket stubs from last season against Phoenix and Minnesota. And unfortunately, Chris, I hoped it happened last night, but of course it didn't. But, yep. It's going to happen, though, July 6th. This is going to happen whether the Mercury like it or not, Chris. So, some of the gimmicks I got last night, pretty cool, man. So, I don't know what to say, man. I was really overcome with emotion yesterday, man, just from everyone on Facebook and Twitter, you know, saying happy birthday and stuff like that, text messages and stuff. And, of course, man, the highlight of last night is the halftime high five from nobody else, man, but the reigning 2013 WNBA Most Valuable Player. That would be Candace Nicole Parker last night.
Yep, agree.
So, folks, you can actually go to my Facebook page. If you folks are friends with me on Facebook, I think the only one that is Chris. But if you have not seen it yet, folks, I will somehow, folks, try to find a way to post the photos either on Flickr or a photo sharing website for you folks to go check out the photos from last night that were taken last night, folks. And if you folks don't believe me that I got Candace's high five, it was on television. So if you're watching closely, if you caught the guy in the blue jeans and the This Is LA t-shirt, that was this guy right here seeing one of his favorite players last night. And also, Chris, I got to throw this in there. I know she beat LA last night, man. But I also, though, got a wave and a happy birthday wish from the first ever women's player Chris I saw play in person. That would be Diana Lorena Taurasi last night after the game.
No comment, because I just tied her with Dan.
And speaking of which, man, thanks for reminding me, because you also get muted again, because you did it again on Instagram. So there it is, folks. Chris has 10 technical fouls. He has broken DT's record, and also now is stuck with the irony of his favorite Sparks player. That would be Lindsay Marie Harding. But, Chris, we're going to shift away from all the stuff I got on my desk over here, which is a big pile of mess right now, to my in-game experience, Chris, which I believe has trumped baseball games I've gone to, even trumped, Chris, working soccer's games. Because when I had first, man, stepped into Staples Center, the actual arena, I was like you. My jaw dropped and it was broken and hanging because of the massive size of Staples Center, folks. If you don't know, it holds about 19,000 for a Lakers or Clippers game, 18,000 for a Kings game, and roughly 13 for a Sparks game. They close off the upper deck in those games. But, Chris, I mean, just seeing Staples Center for the first time, I mean, was astonishing and was just amazing because of just how big the building is, the vibe from the fans that are there, and stuff like that. And the game day experience, Chris, was really, really welcoming to every fan. There were a few Phoenix fans that I saw outside at least with their jerseys on. There really wasn't a big gathering of the Mercury fans. There was like maybe they were kind of like splattered across Staples Center last night. But, Chris, like I told my dad, though, everyone that was there with the Sparks, team affiliated attire, it was either Lisa Leslie or CP3 jerseys you saw. T-shirts were all over the place, man. But predominantly, man, it was either families were going there, single ladies were going there, ladies or, Chris, some guys also went like myself and my dad did, man. So the game day experience, man, I think has trumped every other sporting event I've gone to. I'm not saying that, Chris, because I'm a homer for the WNBA, but at least what I saw last night, you know, from Timeout Entertainment, from DJ Malski being the best DJ in the WNBA to CJ Simpson doing a great job, to just everything that they do, man. I mean, to the point, man, you know it's awesome when the offensive chants of Let's Go Sparks or defense, when they play over the sound system, Chris, when they vibrate your seat because they're so loud, that is definitely worth the game day experience last night. And also, I'm a bit sick, Chris, because I actually finally, for like the first time in forever, Chris actually got involved and actually yelled for once during a sporting event, because I have not done this, man, in a long time, because I've mainly had to tone it down because my dad's not a big fan of doing it, like booze and stuff like that. But I unleashed it last night, man, and that's why I'm a bit sick from last night, because I finally was able to unleash the emotion last night. You know, the chants, you know, the dancing, you know, all the stuff, man. I finally had to unleash it last night, and it was at the best arena in the world, man, the entertainment and basketball capital of the world at Staples Center last night, Chris. I mean, what did you make about the photos that I did post? I know that you basically liked them up to hell on Facebook. I mean, at least what you saw, man. What did you think last night?
Really great. It's been forever since I stepped in Staples Center. I was like a little kid. I was like 5 years old, and yeah.
Chris, going back to before the game, before we even got into the Staples Center, Chris, I mean, we had left here about a 1:30, I think, to beat the LA traffic. We pulled in about 3:55, 4 o'clock to get to Staples. So we walked around Star Plaza Entryway, Chris, and of course took all the photos with, you know, the statues between Kareem and Magic and Wayne Gretzky and, you know, of course Chick Hearn as well, and walked around the arena a bit, went to LA Live for a bit, and then of course, Chris, we come back, we're hanging out the statue, and all of a sudden, Chris, I hear my name getting called. I look around a bit, and Vicky Russo and Jack Nick and a few of their friends are there, and I got my birthday package from Jack Nick. Then, Chris, a few minutes later before the doors open, someone we follow on Twitter, her name eludes me. I forget her name, but she recognized me, though, because she knew my name and stuff. And she hands me, Chris, the post-game autograph coupon. The Sparks normally, Chris, don't hand those out to regular fans unless you're a 24/7 season ticket member, Chris. So I basically got a exclusive perk last night. And when I had gotten in line for the session, and I was, you know, 3 rows back from the court, and the person next to me is like, "So what do you got in the cardboard?" It was Candace Parker's 8x10 of her dunk. Her jaw dropped because it was like, you know, that's a rare photo you see anywhere. And unfortunately, Chris, Candace didn't come out to sign. A little bit bummed, but got AB to sign and Nikki to sign, Chris. But last night, man, I was more so taken back, Chris, by how Jackie and Vicky and their friends went out of their way to make my first time there very memorable. And that's why, Chris, I've always used the hashtag. Leading up to this, I've always using the hashtag of expect memories, because this is a memory that is not going to be going away anytime soon. I mean, from the first time going to Staples, seeing my favorite team play, my 2 favorite players of all time play in Candace and DT, who I think is somehow messing with you the night up there at the studios, to getting Candace to get a high five from her, man, to have her smile at me and at least recognize me from somewhere, at least from either Twitter or somewhere. You know, the post-game autographs with AB and Nikki. Sure, Chris, the final score wasn't what I wanted or envisioned. Like I said, man, the final score can go to hell, because it was more so just going there to celebrate, to above all, Chris, be with my dad, spend my birthday very well, Chris, and above all, Chris, to know that my dad will take a WNBA game over going to the Auto Club 400 next year, Chris, is a thumbs up for you, at least, for the season, knowing that he might want to go to a future game, Chris. But I have really been taken back, Chris, sort of knocked on my rear end, just of the clutter on my desk from when I was given by Vicky and Jackie at the game, to the game itself, to the entire vibe at the Staples Center, to the post-game autographs, to seeing Candace play for the first time ever. There's, Chris, somebody like you, speechless. There's nothing else for me to say but thank you to everyone out there that made last night very special.
Yep, and you said that person about the coupon, you said you don't know who? I think that coupon was probably a thank you for the something.
It could be, Chris, but I'm getting a bit choked up over here, man, because I have never had a birthday like this in I don't know how long, man. I mean, probably 10 years ago when I got to do the little thing with the Padres when I was like 10 at Qualcomm Stadium. Got to call an inning for the Padres over the PA was one thing. Sure, the effort to get me to do it last night fell through the cracks, but I mean, there's really nothing else to say. And sorry, folks, but there is really, folks, nothing else for me to say tonight, but just thank you to everybody for last night. I mean, I really can't say anything else to everyone out there. Chris, to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my pajamas on. I'm gonna have to.
What?
Over to you, man, because I need a minute here to kind of regain myself.
No, I'm just. What's called about the security over here?
I don't know, man, but Chris, I mean, what else do we need to say? I think I pretty much have done it for the last. There is just there's nothing else to say. But thank you to everyone out there that made last night special.
Yep, and just the irony what happened yesterday, and then something came in your house today.
Chris, it's a lot, man. Just I need to do this though, man. And I might start freaking crying a river over here, folks. So excuse me, but posted this, folks, last night about midnight yesterday. And if the tissue box is around, folks, be sure it is nearby because I'm probably going to get choked up over here. But dear Facebook friends and Twitter all-stars, I want to thank you all very much, and every single one of you, for making my big day today so special. Literally, folks, I'm overcome with emotion from all the posts, tweets, and texting I've received throughout today. And ironically, Chris, I feel like Wayne Gretzky when he got traded to the Kings here, who happens to have a statue outside of Staples Center, man. Sure, the final score of the game wasn't what I envisioned, but I had a unfreaking believable time watching the Sparks play at Staples Center last night. I'd like to extend a personal thank you to Elena Beard, Candace Parker, Say Sam I Am, Chris himself at Woody3434, and Miss Sparks on Twitter for everything that you've done today. You are all the true, most valuable players. Chris, to you, man.
That's it.
Just
I'm gonna turn the lights down.
now.
I'm gonna call Rebel.
Didn't
And if I get my
I don't even know.
Because, see, I told you, I laugh at when you said, okay.
I don't know, man.
Call Rebel.
I really don't know, folks, and we're gonna end it right here, folks, because Chris has got to go to sleep because the studio lights are out. And I'm basically done, folks. I'm out of words for the night, so. Chris, I might need you to close out for the night, man, because I'm really am at a loss for words, man. So take it away, man.
Thank you. Talk you.
I mean, folks, I never thought I'd see the day where I'd have to have a little car breakdown here on the air, folks, but folks, when it's the experience that you had last night, just everyone going out of their way last night to help you out, make your day special, make it feel like you're, the King of England or something. There's nothing else for me to say, folks. So we thank you all for watching, and thank you for bearing with me tonight, folks, with the illness and above all with the outpouring, folks, of emotion that I have had to give out to everyone out there that made yesterday that much better. But, folks, we will close up for the night. We'll see you, folks, tomorrow here on the LA Sparks 365 Network here, folks. We are Sparks. We are LA. We'll see you, folks, tomorrow night when I'm back in one piece here at 9 p.m. for Sparks 365. Sparks fam and the guys at Petition here, folks. Thank you all for coming. See you, folks, tomorrow night. Peace. Much love, everybody. Bye-bye.